The next step is to make halves. We've got our circle, our whole circle, which is 360 degrees, and we're going to cut it right down the middle to make two 180 degree pieces, or two complete halves. So I'm going to go up to my sketch menu. On my sketch menu, I'm going to go over to what's called polyline. That's going to be a line that looks like a squiggle here, but it'll make a straight line for us. Click on that choice, and then we're going to go out on the screen. It says click to select a sketch. This is super important. You need to click on the circle. Once you click on the circle, it'll say click to specify the first point. Now this one's going to be not on the circle. Now I want to find the blue line that's right in the middle at the top. Click with my mouse, and then I'm going to go down, 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 down. And it's super important here. Doesn't matter how long my line is, just as long as it goes all the way across my circle. But the number of degrees should be 0, because if I come over here where it says 25 degrees, that's not making it in half. I've got to go all the way to the bottom, because 0 degrees says we're a straight line from the top. When I'm going to click with my mouse, I'm done, so I'm going to click on the green check. Okay? If you have problems with that, just hit undo and try that step again. So I now have, if I go up here to my little house, I've got my hole, and I've got a line that I'm going to use to be like a knife to cut right through that shape. So to do that next step, to cut it in half, I'm going to go up to my modify menu that's got an arrow up and down, and I'm going to go over to the choice that says split solid. Click on split solid, and the first thing it wants is the body to split, and that says what do we want to cut? We want to cut the big circle. So we're going to click on the circle, and then it says splitting entity, and the entity means thing. So what's the thing we want to split with? First we click on splitting entity, and then we're going to click on that line, and it will now know that's what we want to cut in half. When we hit the enter key, we should now have a cut in half. And nothing happened, because just like when you cut a pie or a piece of pizza, when you cut across it, it doesn't move the pieces apart until you do it. But I can see this little line right here, and that's my clue that I've done it right. To move my pieces apart, I'm going to go back up to the top, so I'm looking at it from here, and I'm going to use my rolling mouse wheel to get back so I can see the whole thing. I'm going to click on the left side, and when I click on the left side, my tools are going to come up here at the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to choose move. That's the one with the arrows. Click on it, and then I'm going to come up with my moving tool, and I want to use the arrow that's pointing to the right, and I'm actually going to move to the left, and I want to move 5 to the left, and that's just one whole square. When I hit the enter key, you'll see that I've now cut myself in half. Now, one of the weird things that we're seeing here is we're seeing the lines we drew, the circles, and I don't want to see those lines anymore. So if I click on my split line and I hit delete, and I click on that circle line, you can see it's in between. If I click on it and hit delete, I now only am seeing my two halves, and they look pretty darn perfect to me. So I've got my slices done, and I can now turn sideways, and I can see that I have not one but two slices. Not only do I have two slices, but they are perfect halves. So we're going to now save this one. We're going to choose save a copy to my computer, and we're going to call this half. And again, we're going to put our name so that we can find it again. And the last step, don't forget, so that we can print it out, we're going to go to the menu again, Export as 3D, STL file. We want to be fine, but this time we have to make another choice. Down here it says Combine Objects. We actually have two objects. We have two halves. The first time we had one whole, and so when we went to print it, it knew we wanted to print the whole thing. This time we need to choose Combine Objects so that when it's saved, both of our halves are going to show up for the printer. If only one shows up, you skip that step and you need to go back and redo it. Okay? So we want to combine objects because there are two objects, and we click on OK. It needs to know the name of it, and again, we're going to call it half and our name. And now that file's ready to go. So that part's pretty easy. We took our whole and we cut it in half. All right? The next lesson will be quarters. So I'm going to hit stop.